It is my pleasure to ask Mr. Dolph Pulliam to present the alumni welcome. Dolph?
Thank you very much, Luann. This is a riotous crowd, but a joyous one. Happy Bulldogs today. Ladies and gentlemen, I consider myself to be one of the luckiest men in the world today. I was born in a one-room, tin-roof shack in the cotton fields of West Point, Mississippi. My 8 brothers and sisters and my mom and I lived under the Jim Crow laws and the Ku Klux Klan. My people were not allowed to go to the hospitals for medical care. So my mother gave birth to all 9 of us in front of the fireplace in that one-room, tin-roof shack. When I was 6, my mother was able to get us out of Mississippi and on to southeastern Missouri. She died soon after that. My mother's sister came down from Gary, Indiana, and decided to bring all 9 of us home with her, and that's where she raised us. My aunt taught me to be a dreamer. And I used to tell people that I would graduate from high school, go on to college, to play football or basketball, and then professionally, I told them I would play for the Boston Celtics in the NBA and the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. By my senior year in high school, I was all-city, all-conference in football, all-city, all-conference, and all-state in basketball. And I was on the National Honor Society at my high school. I had multiple offers to go to college to play either football or basketball, and I chose basketball. My coaches told me that Indiana University was where I was going, and I was not allowed to talk to any other coaches. But later that spring, I was playing in the Indiana All-Star basketball game. And after that game, a man came up to me and he wanted to meet me. But I told him that I was busy, too busy, and I had to go. But he said, "I just prayed that I get to talk to you." And when he said that, everything stopped in me. And I asked him, "Well, who are you?" And he said, "I'm a college basketball coach." And I said, "Oh, coach, I'm going to Indiana." And he said, "Well, I've heard that. What are you going to major in at Indiana?" And I said, "Well, coach, they haven't told me that yet." And he said, "Well, son, you're supposed to tell them." And I said, "Coach, no one has talked with me about my education." And he said, "Well, what happens if you go to Indiana and after 4 years, all you have is a degree in basket weaving? How are you going to get out there and get a job?" And I said, "Well, that's easy. I'm going to play for the Boston Celtics in the NBA or the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL." I asked him, "Where do you coach?" And he said, "Drake." I said, "I haven't heard of that, coach. Where's Drake?" And he said, "It's in Des Moines, Iowa." I said, "You got me there too." I asked him to meet my brothers and sisters and my aunt in Gary, Indiana. And Coach John told them that he would be my father away from home and that I would graduate from Drake University. My brothers and my sisters and my aunt said, "You're going to Drake, not to Indiana, because that man cares about you." And in 1965, I was crossing over the Mississippi River heading west into Iowa. And I said a little prayer. And I asked God to watch my back. And I asked him to help me to be a success so that my brothers and my sisters would be proud of me. 4 years later, my wonderful basketball team and myself took Drake University to the NCAA Final Four. the only Drake team so far to make it there. I received my degree from Drake University. I was drafted by the Boston Celtics in the NBA. And I was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. I turned them both down for my chance I turned them both down to stay in Iowa and to become the first African-American television broadcaster in the state of Iowa. I have been working for Drake University for 24 years. I've worked in television broadcasting prior to that for 20 years. I have been involved in community service in Des Moines and the state of Iowa and nationally for 48 years now. But now I'm going to go back home because my sisters have said, Iowa has had you for nearly 50 years. And now we want you home with us as we all move into our senior years. But before I cross back over the Mississippi River and head east, I want to pause and I want to say a little prayer. And I would like to thank God for watching my back for all these many years. And I will thank Him for all of the wonderful faculty and staff for giving this shy young man the confidence and a great education. And I want to thank God for all the lives that I have touched in my 48 years here and all of the friends and friendships that I have made throughout. So you see, young people, Drake University has been my surrogate mother all these many years. She took care of me. She took a chance on me. She made me a proud man. She educated me. I owe a lot to Drake University, and I can never, ever forget her or repay her for what she has done for me. Now, as you are about to cross over, I would like to say to you, don't forget Drake. Stand up for her. Defend her against anyone who would speak ill about her. And as I retire from Drake, I promise to be an active and engaged alum. And when the time comes, I want you to give back and be a volunteer as well. And when you are able, I want you to give part of your treasure to her so that she can be ready for the next generation that's coming. I would like to wish each and every one of you Godspeed. And as I embark on my next chapter in life, may God bless each and every one of you. I will never forget you. Thank you very much.